Welcome to the Overshare Pamphlet. My name is Rob, and I'm the host of this one-man show. Welcome back. Long time no see. I guess I should immediately address the elephant in the room, which is why didn't I put an episode last week? Well, if I have to be completely honest, last weekend was a whirlwind for me. I've had so much going on, not anything personal specific. It was just too busy. Basically, Friday I went to the Eras tour, and it was just pure bliss. So much fun here in London. Incredible experience, but I was busy the whole entire day. So, and if y'all have been to the Eras tour, you know that it's probably one of the most tiring experiences of your life. You have to stand up for so fucking long. That is of course if you're having pit tickets in that sense. So yeah, that was a lot of fun, but it was extremely tiring. So tiring. I just wanna drop a random comment there saying that I was so impressed by the concert. It was so good. It exceeded any possible expectations that I even had for the concert. It was so good. The Torture Poet department section on the tour was probably the best thing I've ever seen in a tour. Period. So well crafted. The props incredible. Her dress amazing. Her vocals insane. Just dancers and everything so good. And I loved it. Paramore, Slate the House Down Boots. They were just Hayley is just such an amazing singer. So I was so incredibly immersed in experience that the day after also I went out and I was already tired to begin with. Couldn't bother to even think of recording an episode. I was thinking of recording an episode on the Eras tour, but I was you know what, everyone knows what's going on at the Eras tour now, so I don't know if there's much to say on the topic anymore. But I did experience London Boy Live, which has never happened in any other shows. I'm very grateful for that. Very grateful for Taylor to giving us this gift. So that was very unique for us, very special. And then Sunday, you might have you might be thinking why didn't you then do something on Sunday? Why didn't you record on Sunday? Well, Sunday I was at a music festival in Victoria Park in London called All Points East, and it was another whirlwind of just a lot of standing up, a lot of walking around, a lot of that. But I managed to see basically Mitski, Biba Doobie, Ethel Kane, TV Girl, Suki Waterhouse, all these amazing artists all in one place. So, worth it. It was so much fun. Oh my god, I had so much fun. I cannot. But I was extremely tired even after that. It took me so long to recover from that. Also because I think on top of all of this, I also started a new workout routine. I'm working out 6 days per week, and I literally started that week, the week prior, and so I was still trying to adjust to the new routine and everything, because it's very tiring and exhausting. And on top of that, going to two huge events like these, I was just tired as fuck basically. I was that. It took me so long to recover from that, in terms of sleep and everything else, and rest. So yeah, that's sort of the reason why I wasn't able to record much and do anything for last week. But do not fret, I'm back. I am back with a new episode. Today we're going to be talking about the new Sabrina Carpenter album, of course. Short and sweet. This is personally a much awaited album from Sabrina, especially after seeing what she's done with her two singles, Please 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 and Espresso. You guys most definitely know about them. They've been great hits of this year and this summer. So yeah, I was very excited to see what was going to happen with this album. I am still low-key bummed that she released it so late, because I think that many of the songs in this album are still very summery, but it's the end of August. Summer is, in my books at least, technically over. So I don't know. I wish she could have dropped it slightly early. I think even end of July would have been great. But yeah. But either way, the album Slade. So we're gonna get into that in my review. But first, of course, songs of the week. And as usual, whenever I do like an album review and also my other previous episodes, I usually put one or two songs from the album in the songs of the week. So I'll get to them specifically when I do the review. But aside from those tracks, here are a few Slayful tracks of the week. So if I have to be honest, this episode is gonna come out. Oh well, never mind. Like still August, so you can find all of these songs in my songs of the week playlist for August. You can just simply type songs of the week, the Overshare pamphlet, songs of the week, August, and you should be able to find my playlist. Let me see if I can if I still have it. It should be on Spotify. Overshare pamphlet, song of the week, August. Yeah, she's here. So yeah, I do these playlists like monthly for all the songs of the week that I put in my episodes. So just go give it a little listen, and you're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. So I'm gonna put these songs in that playlist. So first off, I want to talk about Beaches by Biba Doobie. This is very much like a result of me also seeing her live. This is from her new EP, This Is How Tomorrow Moves. And this song specifically, she's at the what is it called, at the festival, that performance, that this is her favorite track from the EP. Is it an EP or is it an album? I don't know. But anyways, it was really, really, really good. Specifically live, I don't know. Like already when I listened to the album, I was like, this song is so good. Like it's giving me early 2000 vibes, early 2000 like power ballads or something. But live, it was a completely different experience. Like it was so much more emphatic and just very, very emotional, very emotional girl. So yeah, Beaches is gonna be added to the playlist. Thank you very much. So yeah, check it out if you like. Like it's very reminiscent. I would say like even her sound in general is very reminiscent of like the early 2000s. That's her signature sound, I guess, of Biba Doobies. So yeah, Beaches is really good, really good. I loved it so much. It's a love song as well. So if you're feeling romantic or whatever, just go listen to it and you'll be in the perfect mood. Then I want to talk about this girl called Hyalin Ju. She's Korean, and I do not know who she is. She has very few listeners on Spotify. She has like 7,000 monthly listeners. Like I don't know if she's brand new, to be fair. She might be. No, actually, she has songs from 2021. So she's pretty much like an unknown artist, I guess. But her latest EP from what was this? Oh, 2024. So it's not that, like 27th of February. Like it's not. Well, it's kind of old, but not that old. But that EP has 5 songs in it. All of them are incredible. Like the EP is called Cool, and she's Hyalin Chu. She just laid the house down. Like all of the 5 songs in this EP are so good. I would say specifically the track Crazy is my favorite. It's the one that I discovered first, and then I checked out the entire EP. The vibe is very much like Korean R&B, but like it's just very, very catchy, very interesting. I think the instrumental is what really captivates me, but also her style of singing, her voice, her vocal tone. It's just very good. The bass in the song is good is an understatement, I would say. I think you should just give it a try. There's a bit of piano in there as well. It's just really, really good. A good product. A good fucking product. So yeah. Then this gonna come as a surprise, especially since the topic that we have at hand today, which is short and sweet. But I want to put a track from Camila Cabello's CXOXO album called Dream Girls. This is like a reggaeton influenced track, and gotta give it to her. She cooked with this one. Like, I cannot stop moving when I listen to the song. It's so infectious. And it's about, girls being bad bitches, Yeah, I think she knows she's the shit, Like, Shawty next to me is the shit. That's what she says in the song, which is like very interesting. I think she took over like the Drake sound with this album a bit, like the Drake influence a bit, but this really well, I think it really works for her. I like this song specifically, like, so much fun. I keep on replaying it because it's that good. So yeah, Dream Girls with a oh wait, I know it was an S. Okay, never mind, with an S. That's the track. Really, really good. Then I want to talk about well, there's so much that came out in these weeks, but you know what? I'm gonna talk about this one. You by Troye Sivan, Tate McRae, and I don't know. I already put it down. Oh, never mind. Forget about that. I already put it in the playlist. I completely forgot about that. Oof, girl. Thank God we checked. Yeah. I think I want to put also this track in. To be fair, like New Woman by Lisa from Blackpink and Rosalia. I have to be completely honest. I did not like this song at first. Like, I didn't care for it. I think it sounded confusing to me. Like, genre wise or like sound wise, I don't know. I still cannot place exactly what it sounds like, which is why I think it's like actually very unique. I love when Rosalia comes in and like the beats like drops, like slows down, and then it goes back like nothing happened with no transition. Is just so cool. And I love the fact that she sings the chorus in Spanish as well. So it's very interesting. I think it's a very odd combination, but it works really well. And I love the delivery. I love the lyrics. It's like celebrating, women and their strength and everything else. But I think the production is very interesting to me. Like, it's very unique. I've never really heard anything like this. So I think that's probably why it's worth just checking it out, So she's in the playlist now. And we'll be getting into I know already one song that I want to put in this playlist from Sabrina's album. Maybe I'll put two. Maybe I will. But yeah, let's get into the main portion, the main deal of this episode, which is my review of the album. I'm gonna give first my initial thoughts, like my general thoughts about the album overall, but then I'm gonna go into the album track by track, so you guys can know what I think about each track and just in general the statement of the album. So good. So the album is called Short and Sweet, and it came out on the 23rd of August, so like last Friday, and it's Sabrina's proper, statement as a newly renowned pop star. It took her. I already had an episode on her, like on how she became famous and why is her journey so unique. Because she's been around for so long, but never truly had a moment until this year, after Espresso specifically, after multiple things. But if you are interested in her story, go check it out. Go check that episode out. But yeah, this is her proper statement as a now, like, very, very famous artist. So, and dare I say, it lived up to the expectations. It's like very, very good. I think it's Emails I Can't Stand, but I think at its finest, and with new influences, like new country influences and new 80s influences here. But it's like all that made her, like, stand out, honed to the maximum in that sense. I would say it is probably her best album overall, period. She found really what makes her stand out, which is not a specific sound, in my opinion, or a genre, because she doesn't really have that, I think. She's really good at, like, dipping and dabbling in, like, in different genres and influences. And even on this album specifically, she doesn't have a specific sound, but I think what really makes her stand out is her very unique style of writing. I think she really, you know, understood that specifically and really honed it to the maximum, as I said, in his album. Like, really solidified her trademark in that sense as an artist. So she still manages to convey, of course, very profound emotions in this album, of course, but she is what her biggest strength is in this very sort of like campy, at times nonsensical, snarky, sarcastic, comedic style of writing. Basically, like, she has this very unique way of writing that sets her apart, I think, from other contemporary singer-songwriters in that sense. So I think it's really important because she really had to, like, you know, I guess attach herself to like something very specific to make at least the album come out as cohesive. As I said, like, it's not very cohesive in terms of sounds, but interestingly enough, because of this specific type of writing, she made the album make sense and make a statement in that sense, and like make like, you know, come together. So yeah, I think another form of cohesion of the album though is like also, of course, the content and the vibe more than the sound itself. Like, it's very how to say, very summary, very summary, but the content as well is like very much about a specific relationship, I would say. So I would love to speculate that for just for a second, that most of these songs are about Shawn Mendes and Camila Cabello, and the part that they played in, you know, the part that she played in her relationship with Shawn Mendes, basically. So that, and I think there's also a bit of Barry Keoghan in this, sprinkled here and there in some songs, but I think overall it's like a reflection on the very confusing relationship she had with Shawn Mendes for a very short time. Because if you didn't know, they had a fling, and that was when he was on and off with Camila Cabello. So yeah, that's the whole context, I guess, of the album in that sense, and the content, which I think again makes it more cohesive in terms of themes and all of that. So yeah. And dare I say, she came for his throat. She dragged him through the mud, and as she should. Like, we love seeing girls using their pans to just slug off man, you know? So yeah, it's a pretty much like a, you know, like a very vulnerable album in that sense, but also very like direct and very snarky and very funny album. So like sometimes she takes herself seriously, of course, but most times she is very self-referential and very sarcastic, and, you know, she laughs it off and plays it off very, very, very nicely. Which I think it is a breath of fresh air. Like, we've had a lot of like singer-songwriters in the last few years, thanks to, like, of course, the Taylor Swift influence. So many of them like writing about heartbreak and in a very emotional and like poetic way. But Sabrina, as one of her songs says, the song is specifically referencing, well, she's addressing Shawn Mendes, but dumb and poetic is how I would describe her style of writing. Like, she is nonsensical and dumb, but she's also very much, you know, emotionally evocative in that sense. So I would say dumb and poetic is a perfect way of describing this album. Like, so good. But yeah, and I would say also, I feel like this album, in terms of statement and quality, reminds me so much. No, I don't want to draw comparisons necessarily, but I'm gonna keep it real. The first time I heard this album, I was like, oh, this reminds me so much of Guts. Not so much in terms of by Olivia Rodrigo, of course, but not so much in terms of like sound, but more so in terms of statement and cohesion and you know, just in general, like a very strong, well-honed craft, and very much Gen Z oriented in that sense. So yeah, that's the point of reference, I guess, for me as well. So yeah, and speaking of Olivia, the first track is Taste. And why am I referencing Olivia? Well, I don't know. I think it's common knowledge that this song sounds very much like an Olivia Rodrigo track. In my opinion, humble opinion here, but it does. And not in a bad way. I think it's in a very, you know, very good way, I think. Like, this sound is very current at the moment, so it makes sense that she would, go into this. But I can see the Olivia Rodrigo influence very strongly here, So this is one of the many iterations of Sabrina calling out Shawn Mendes, in my opinion, like, for going back to his own ex while they were still together. And it's a perfect, like, opening, I think, also for the album, because it does straight up bring you to the entire point of the album itself, like, what's the main theme, And the theme is basically that, no matter how many times he goes back to his ex, he'll always, like, be thinking about her. Like, that's the main thesis of the album as well. Like, that she's unforgettable, but also she's very much butthurt by this nonsensical behavior by Shawn Mendes for playing with her feelings and going back to his ex, to Camila Cabello, and all that. So she'll unpack, of course, more of this for the other songs, but that's the general thesis statement of this album, right? The song specifically, though, I think it's very interesting because it's addressed not specifically at him, but more so at Camila Cabello, the girl in question, the ex. Let's just say the ex, not Camila, So she's saying that you can have him, but, when you kiss him, you'll taste me, basically, you'll taste me when he's kissing you. And also, she calls him out very much a la Olivia Rodrigo, saying that all the things that he's doing to charm this girl are things that he learned from Sabrina. So, very much giving deja vu kind of vibes, The sound is, like, rock adjacent. It's very upbeat, very fun, very careless, carefree, very cool. But it's still very summery, in my opinion, very snarky and very direct also in terms of writing. Not her snarkiest song, I would say, but still pretty much funny and direct, I would say. Love that. And this is also her third single from the album now. So there's a video with Jenna Ortega, incredible video, so much fun. Go watch it. A lot of references to, like, cult classic movies, so go see it. Now, after Taste, we have the queen of the album, which is Please Please Please, of course. Still one of the best tracks here, I would say. Like, that was her second single from the album, but I think it's still it's a holds as one of her best tracks on the album, I would say. This is an amazing Jack Anton of production here, so there's a bit of that, like, Bleachers influence here, but it's country, oddly enough. Very interesting country influence here, but not straight up country, I would say. It's like a country influenced track with a lot of, like, modernization of the genre, so very cool, very synthy as well. There are some synth elements in this. Very, very interesting. I would say, like, production wise is one of the best as well. Jack Antonoff excels at, and he's also trying new things, which I'm very excited about. And this makes me also very excited about what he's going to do with Lana Del Rey for her country album, if he does still work with her on that. But this is so good. I'm sure, of course, you've all heard this song because it's super popular, but this is a prime example of what makes Sabrina great and makes her stand out in this album. So the lyrical content here is very snarky, very sarcastical, very nonsensical at times as well, and very direct. Like, I can pick any point in the song, any lyric in the song, and it will be funny and unique. Like, for example, the first verse, I know I have good judgment, I have a good taste. It's funny, it's ironic that only I feel that way. I promise them that you're different, and everyone makes mistakes, but just don't. I heard that you're an actor, so act like a stand-up guy. Whatever the devil's inside you, don't let him out tonight. I tell him it's just your culture, and everyone rolls their eyes. And, she goes into the chorus. Chorus as well, very funny. Please, please, please don't prove him right. Don't bring me to tears when I just did my makeup so nice. Heartbreak is one thing, my ego is another. I beg you, don't embarrass me, motherfucker. That's what she says. So funny. The nonsensical part is, like, for example, like, the very funny, like, effortless one. It's, like, the second verse as well, I would say. I have a fine idea, babe. Why maybe just stay inside? I know you're craving some fresh air, but the ceiling fan is so nice. so good. Living for this song. I still love listening to this. It hasn't aged whatsoever. If anything, I think it's gone well beyond my expectations. Like, it's so good. It's still aging like fine wine, I would say. And yeah, perfect craft, I would say. The entire writing here is like just incredible. Um, but yeah, you all know about the song. So, anyways, let's move on to third song, Good Graces. This is an okay track in my opinion. It's probably one of my least favorite on the album. Maybe I'll be, changing my mind, but as of now, I mean, don't get me wrong, I would have popped my shit back in 2018 for this, but I fear the sound of this song is very outdated. It's giving me old Ariana Grande and also old Sabrina Carpenter for whatever reason. But lyric-wise, I think it's also pretty okay. It's mostly about her telling the guy that he only has one rule to follow to make this relationship work, which is staying in her good graces. And if not, she will be walking away and switching it up. So she's letting him know that, she's not one to be played with. And yeah. But that's, yeah, sound-wise, it's like very much that pop era, like 2018 pop, I would say 16, 17, 18 pop. But yeah, I don't know, maybe it'll grow on me, but I hope maybe it does. But I don't know. I cannot wrap my head around it. I just think it's a bit same old, And this is probably the only track I think that I like. I find okay overall on the album. But yeah, but don't worry, we're going just up and beyond after this. So the next track is called Sharpest Tool. Sharpest Tool. Here is where we start cooking, girls. Here's where we start, turning on the stove and getting that frying pan. A lovely plucked guitar ballad, in my opinion. It's about a failed relationship or situationship, whatever you want to call it, with a very confusing guy, Shawn Mendes, who keeps on ghosting her and then reappearing out of nowhere. She talks at length about how he keeps on going back to his ex and so on. But what is even worse, and what is revealed in the chorus itself, is that they never even managed to talk about the underlying issues of the relationship. Like their whole situationship was marked by a constant silence and avoid, and just in general an avoidment to just avoiding talking about the problems and just brushing things under the rug, but yeah, I would say silence from both sides though. Like, she does blame him, but then also, I guess you can tell from the vibe of the song that she also never really managed to confront him about it. So silence from both sides, and that's how you kill a relationship. That's how it goes. Favorite lyric might be seems like overnight I'm just a bitch you hate now. I think it really encapsulates the song, and again shows her trademark. She's really doing that. But this is a slow paced track, very much sad, but still very snarky and funny, honestly. But really good. Now we move on to another highlight, I think, of the album, called Coincidence. She keeps on cooking. So good. This is very much sticking to the same theme as the previous track. The guy going back to the ex and disappearing and all that stuff. But the production is completely opposite. Like a very upbeat acoustic guitar song. The way it's produced, it sounds like it was recorded live somewhere, like in a stadium. There's a chant of people in the back as well, which leads me to believe this song is going to be so good live at her concert, which, by the way, I am going to. So I'm very excited to see this live. I'm already imagining how it's going to go down, but so good. It also has a bit of that country club vibe here, I guess, but it's very much like an upbeat acoustic guitar song. Yeah. Some favorite lyrics. Last week you didn't have any doubts. This week you're holding space for her tongue in your mouth. Genius. Oh, girl. So good. Or, for example, another one is, your car drove itself from LA to her thighs. Come on. She's so funny. I love it. She's so good. And then she ends the song with, what a coincidence. You just broke up again. What a coincidence. Get him all, end them. So she is very, very self-referential here. So good. I love her writing here. So much fun. And I said, it's very fun to listen to the song and chant to it, if that makes any sense. So yeah. Also, I don't know. Like, he really was stupid as fuck, I would say. Like, what do you think is gonna happen? Like, if you go back, well, I mean, in the end, Camila, like, if you act this way to one girl, this only leads me to believe that you're gonna do the same with any other girl. So, you cannot like go back and forth, and then you broke up again and all that stuff. So, just this guy has a lot of issues. We're seeing the issues from this album. Shawn Mendes, count your days. You're done. Now, next track is another highlight. It's called Bad Cam, which is short for bad chemistry, like in bad, So you can tell from the title that this is a very sexy track. It's about, of course, sex. So very cool stuff. It's 80s inspired, very fun. The chorus is incredible. I would say like one of the best choruses on this album. Her falsetto, oh my god, gagged. And it's very straightforward in terms of like content, but she has very good lyrics here as well. She gagged me when she said like "come right on me." I mean camaraderie. Like what? How do you even think about these lyrics? I don't even know. Come right on me. I mean camaraderie. Like what? This is what I'm talking about. You cannot get this you cannot get this from anywhere else. Like you cannot go to any other artist and like try to find these lyrics. Like she is the only one who can like pull off these things. So campy, so much fun. And I think personally this one is like probably about Barry Keoghan. Might be wrong, might be right, I don't know. But what really gagged me is that right after this one, she doubles down and goes into espresso. Oh my god, bitch. And I'm also having realizations right now because this track, if you think about it, this track list is like very well put together as well. That she starts off with like, the Shawn Mendes situation, and then chronologically she gets to the Barry Keoghan of it all. So yeah, this Espresso is also very much like a very Keoghan track, like very sexy, very self-empowering, but also very much about having this man around her finger and being up all night long. You know what I mean. You know what I mean. You all know about the song, like the way it sounds and everything. Like it's giving Doja Cat, it's giving Say So, it's giving beach vibes. Just an incredible track. So good, so catchy, so mesmerizing, so clever lyric-wise as well. That's that Me Espresso. Y'all know what that means. Like I don't have to get into that, but just know that this is her trademark again. I'm gonna keep on repeating that. Now, right after this, we get into Jump and Poetic, which is such a sad track. So sad. But I think this one is also about Shawn. From a couple of specific lyrics. Like, for example, she says, "And I promise the mushrooms aren't changing your life." And she also says, "You jack off to lyrics by Leonard Cohen." What? Like, what the fuck? And this is supposed to be a sad song, by the way. Like, it's another acoustic ballad, but yeah, she goes into very, funny details, and she calls them out multiple times on this track. And it does strike me as, Shawn Mendes, because he does have that, like, he went now into this, like, I don't know, empathetic, straight guy sort of situation where he's like, we need peace in the world and all that stuff. Like, what? Like, and well, if it's actually shrooms for real that she's referring to here, well, then that explains everything. He's delusional. We are cooking him for real here. Anyways, just so funny. She also closes the track. She says multiple times in the track that just because you act like a man doesn't mean you are one. Gagged, kill him to the throat. So good lyrically. Very sad track. Very sad. Keep that in mind. Very sad track. Yeah. Now I need a moment for this one because the next track is probably, I would say 100% actually, is my favorite track on the album, and probably one of my favorite tracks by Sabrina Carpenter, period. This is Slim Pickens. Oh, didn't mean to do that, but yeah, I'm that excited about the song. Like, I remember listening to this when she played that snippet with Jack Antonoff, and I was hooked immediately from the lyrics and the production and everything, like the melodies and everything. And then on the album, I found out that this track now is country as well. So you cannot, you cannot do this to me. Like, it's so good. Again, I would say arguably some of her best writing on this album as well. On this one. But it's more like of a general commentary on her dating life, her own dating life, and very relatable as well. So I relate to that, and I think it's also my dating life. But that is up to y'all. Listen to the song and think about it. She talks about how she keeps on finding the wrong man, and all that stuff. Like going through all these men who are never going to meet her standards. She just wants a nice boy who's acting kind. Like, that's what she says. That's what she says in this track. This is so clever. I think, let me see if I can get some other very good lyrics. She's so funny in this one. Yeah, well, I mean, she said like, a boy who's just and kind can find his ass to save my life. It's slim pickings. If I can have the one I love, I guess it's you that I'll be kissing just to get my fixings. Since the good ones are deceased or taken, I'll just keep on moaning and bitching, Period. Or she goes like into, this boy doesn't even know the difference between there, and they are. It's so funny. And again, second pre-chorus is also super funny. A boy who's nice, that breathes, has very nowhere to be seen. It's slim pickings, and it's just so funny. I love also the lyric, and since the Lord forgot my gay awakening, then I'll just be here in the kitchen serving up some moaning and bitching, So good. Her delivery, her vocal delivery here is also insane. She goes again into like that falsetto in the chorus, which is so pretty, so beautiful. Her singing ability in this album is really impressing me as well. Like, so well honed, so good. Kudos to her. Go listen to Slim Pickens. This is gonna be definitely in my playlist because this is my favorite track on the album. So watch out. Then we get into Juno. Juno is a bop. Juno is a nice electric guitar pop song. She kind of gives me Katy Perry vibes here, but I think the star of this song is the chorus. So good. Very, very funny. Very, very, I would say, like, it's a good old bop, very summery, and it's just about her being horny for this person. She literally verbatim says she's so fucking horny. So, got it. She's trying to get laid. Go girl, do us a favor, get laid. I think this one is about Barry as well. I think whenever there's like a very nonchalant, because I think the relationship is very much not about anything deep, but she just found them attractive and wanted to fuck. So gotta respect a girl for that, gotta respect her for that. Another lyric that I really liked about the song was, for example, sorry if you feel objectified, can't help myself, hormones are high. Like, okay, period. Like, sure, girl. I also really like the bridge here, the guitar solo, I guess, in the bridge. Very good, very, very much fun. I love this track. I think I want to revisit it so many times because I love the chorus here. So I think it will get stuck in my head. I think it will slowly climb up my ranking here. So give it a go. Give it a good shake. And then we get to the last two tracks, which are both slow tracks in that sense. Lighter Girls is the second to last. Lighter Girls is about, I would say, like, production wise is okay, but what I really think makes this song stand out is the lyrical content, which I think is one of the most interesting ones in this album, like very unique as well. It's basically how it do be general in a way as well. Like, she's talking about how mostly girls give so many second chances because they're very forgiving and they would do anything for love. And so she's saying to the guys, basically, you don't need to even lie to us, because we, if we like you, we'll start lying to ourselves. We'll start forgiving you so many times. We'll start like building, defending you even when it doesn't make any sense, and like you become illogical as a girl when you're in love and all that stuff. It's like so interesting. Like I really like the message here, and very vulnerable as well. Very cool stuff, and a very powerful statement, I would say. So I mean, of course, not all girls are like that. Not all guys are also like. There are some guys who are like that as well. So, I mean, she's just making a point, mostly about herself, I would say. But very cool track. And then she ends the album on a very interesting note, a very sad note. The track is called "Don't Smile." It's not really a happy track, as I said. She's still thinking about the ex here, unfortunately. Though she tries her best to force herself to like get over him and find strength that at least this whole mess is over, right? But probably this is the most vulnerable one here, because I think she pops out of that bubble that she built in this album of her being still like the main shit and like being the girl, and that he will still remember her no matter what, even though he's a piece of shit. Here she goes into a bit of a different directions, and she says like she admits for the first time that he might not actually have he might have completely forgotten about her, and that she's crushed completely by this fact as well. And yeah, it's just so sad, but yet so real. So yeah, love this track. It's very cool. It's a very chill track. It's a very like synthy, slow track. Very very good, and very interesting way to end the album. But I guess it really ties back into the entire theme of the album, the content, as I said, and with the first track as well. So there's a nice parallel between this song and the first one, Taste, as well, I would say. So I would say overall this is a very very strong album, very very good, very much exceeding my expectations. I would say like just one song is like I'm iffy about, which is Good Graces. But apart from that, every single song on here has something going for it, something very unique about it, and very interesting, and overall like keeps the album very cohesive as well. So it's just an incredible track, an incredible run, track list, an incredible track list. So if you haven't listened to the full album, give it a shot. Go listen to it. If I'm inspired to listen to any of the tracks as well, like just one or two, go give them a go. And yeah, I'm very excited to see her live next year. So this is such a good, promising, basically, prospect for what I will see live, hopefully. So yeah, I do want her to make Slim Pickens a single, even though I don't think she will, because it's not really like a pop track or like a upbeat number, but it's so good. I love it. I can't wait to like see her live singing this one specifically. But yeah, anyways, we are done with August, so next episode is gonna be the first episode of September. We're slowly but surely approaching a hot girl fall. So make sure to tune in to, keep up with all this shit. So yeah, have a great time, have a great week, keep on slaying, and remember to stream short and sweet, and be dumb and poetic for once. God.